Welcome to Strongman Sunday, guys. Hope you are all well. How are you, Auntie Liz?
I'm okay. Yeah, it's been
Recovered
a nice
from last weekend?
Yeah, it's been I've had a rubbish week, but this weekend the sun's been out. We've had some nice family time. Yeah, I'm better now. Had a nice roast dinner. That always helps.
Just seeing, is anyone on there? Just because I can't see it come up on here. Can you guys hear us?
They can hear us.
I think they can.
Yeah, they can hear us.
Yeah, it's being a bit slow on my phone. I think that's all. Anyway, yes, it's been a week of recovering from jet lag and probably sleepless nights more than anything.
Yeah, I've had some terrible things happen to me as well. The fridge freezer broke the day after I did the weekly food shop, and we lost all our food and then had to wait a few days without one. I got a speeding ticket.
You did.
I got a speeding
ticket. Get a speeding ticket.
It's
usually me.
It's almost always you. It's always you, in fact.
Not this time.
Not this time. Do you know what, though? It's so frustrating. This road, I thought the whole road was a 40, but apparently there's a patch near a school that's a 30, and I was clocked doing 36. So thinking it was a 40, I thought I was being a good girl, but no.
But you're never a good
Now
girl,
I have to do a speed awareness course, and I'm feeling I'm sulking about it.
Auntie Liz is sulking, but you've still been training hard and you still love Strongman. So we're going to talk about Strongman.
Okay, no one needs to know about my woes. Okay, let's talk about Strongman instead. See who's in the chat. Craig is with us.
Craig Pulowski, hope you're well, my friend.
Love the big jerk and agree with last man standing, but wish they'd used the Flintstone bar because visually it would have looked better. Thing is, it's Rogue equipment, isn't it? So
it is.
Yeah, Rogue is the major sponsor of the Arnolds. Their equipment's what's used. But yeah, maybe we will see the Flintstone bar later in the year. Maybe
you will, Millhouse. Maybe you will.
Let's move along. Matthew, good afternoon, evening, good morning, blah, blah, blah. Liz and Loz, do you know if you will be at the Strongest Man on Earth? My favourite comp of the year next to the Arnolds. Excited to see a Hatton, Hooper and Thor showdown.
We would love to be at the Shaw Classic. I don't know yet is the honest answer to you guys. Brian hasn't reached out to say if he wants me doing the commentating or not this year. Hopefully he does want me back, but I haven't heard anything yet. So as it stands, I can't confirm, but hopefully we will be.
Yeah. We enjoyed it, didn't
we?
Yeah,
it was great.
It was really good fun. What do you think of the World's Strongest Man events? Now, apparently there's been a leak.
There's been a leak. There's always a leak.
There's always a leak, but we can't leak. I feel like leaking is beneath us.
Yeah, we shouldn't leak.
As tempted as I always am.
Yeah. But we don't have any kind of ties to Worlds.
No, we could.
But I coach a couple of the athletes, obviously, and I don't want to break their trust. So I do know what the events are. And until Worlds announce it, I won't publicly announce things. But the events look really cool, a little bit different to we've seen in the past.
Some interesting
And I
changes.
think a lot of people will enjoy some of the changes that we're going to see this year.
Yeah.
So I'll leave it at that for now. Hopefully Worlds post up real soon. But the athletes have been told the events.
Yeah.
And if you go and watch what they're training, you'll start figuring things out pretty quickly.
Happy Sunday, everyone. Curious to hear what people think of the 4 Americans that were at the Arnold. Seemed like Evan, Austin, and Trey are right in the cusp of being contenders for any titles.
Absolutely.
There were more than 4, though, weren't there? Bobby and Lucas and Nick.
Yeah. 6 Americans.
6 Americans. But yeah, I mean, Evan has been on that cusp for a long time. He's won.
Yeah, Evan won multiple Giants Live shows. Obviously 3rd at World's Strongest Man last year. He has been a contender for a while, as has Trey. Trey has won Strongest Man on Earth twice, back when it was the Shaw Classic. He's been on podiums in international shows.
Yeah.
Obviously he got that injury, so he had a bit of time off, and now he's back into the mix of contending for titles. Lucas Hatton.
Austin was it?
I know, but I thought we should talk about Lucas Hatton because he's American.
Yeah.
He's the only athlete from the Arnold's lineup that's never won an international comp.
Yeah.
Which is hard to believe when you see how good he is. But I think that's just a matter of time. And Austin, absolutely unbelievable. I mean, Austin won SCL a couple of years ago. Strongest Latino.
Yeah, 2 years ago.
He's been top 5 or top 6 in pretty much all the big shows.
Yeah.
I think he was top 6 at Worlds.
Did he come 6?
Something like, I don't know where he was. He was in the final.
No, Wesley came 6.
Yeah.
I think he was 7th. Maybe.
He was, he was top 10.
Yeah.
He did well at Shaw. Strongest Man on Earth. He's done really good at the Arnolds.
Yeah.
So
Austin's Austin's better at every show.
Yeah, he
So he's
just
gotten
missed out on
better.
that 470 deadlift in Vegas.
Yeah, he did.
He's a
man,
beast
so
of
close.
an athlete. So yeah, lots of good Americans right now for sure.
Oh yeah, there's Laura. There were 6 Americans, not 4. Cross my fingers that Thor competes at World's Strongest Man.
I hope he does, and I think looking at the event list, he might. I think Thor will look at the events and think, I like those.
I think it's a bit tasty.
I think he will think, I've got a chance of this.
Yeah, maybe. Where are we? What's the latest time that Thor could confirm a spot at World's Strongest Man?
I don't know, is the answer.
I would have thought it would have to be quite soon after Europe's, because
probably even before Europe's.
Potentially before, yeah, sometime around Europe's, which is in 4 weeks' time. I can't imagine they're going to allow it to go on much longer than that, because they get work visas also for every athlete that's going to compete there. So there is that to consider too, isn't there?
Yeah.
So, yeah. Oh, it'd be exciting if he does do it.
It would. Cousin Fred with the members.
Thank you very much.
Members. Thank you very much,
memberships.
Cousin Fred. His beard was in full swing when I saw him at the Arnold's. Full swing of glorious colour.
Of course. Andrew with the members comment, great vids from Browno and Mateusz. Europe's Strongest Man should be fun.
We watched them
last night. We watched the Q&A, which was funny.
And the deadlift.
Yeah, the deadlift. The Q&A was very funny though.
It was.
Those two, they make me laugh. People saying hello to each other. Where are we? What are you doing?
I'm just trying to skip ahead of some of the comments to see if there's anything worth picking up on that you might miss.
I pick up on all the good stuff. There we go. Hi, Loz and Liz. Hope you're both well. I just competed at my first national natural strongman and did Big Loz proud by winning my pairing in the yoke.
Good man. Well done, buddy.
Have you both fully recovered from the Arnold jet? Yeah, fully recovered.
Just about.
We've been tired all week, haven't we? But just playing catch up a little bit. It's one of those weeks, so much stuff to do.
Just always just back into the swing of things, then you're trying to catch up on things.
Yeah.
But, just normal life, nothing crazy.
Nothing crazy.
Speeding tickets and broken fridges.
Yeah. Were the flights and hotel okay this post trip to America? Flights were great.
Our trip to America. What are they on about?
This past trip to America, I said post. Yeah, I'm guessing like our flights. Yeah, that's the only trip we've had to America.
Yeah, we had our trip to America was great this time. Other than I got searched multiple times again, like normal.
We upgraded our own flights, didn't we?
Yeah. So that was nice.
Yeah.
Hotel was good.
Yeah, hotel was good and connected to the
convention center.
Yeah, so, which is always nice, isn't it?
Yeah. Got lots of steps in, didn't we?
We did all the steps. Brother, what do you think Thor pull again? 501 Raw or 505 with suits? Or he was retired with Strongman?
I think Thor will probably focus on pulling the record in a suit next. That would be my guess. Do you reckon?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I can't see him going for like a Raw deadlift next because I think it would be suited. Yeah. But there is talk about where he's going to be competing. I think it was announced about the Siberian Power Show, where there's going to be a max deadlift event suited, which is not long after Europe's. Maybe that'll impact his choice on whether or not to go to World's Strongest Man. We don't know, but we will see. We will wait. Ronan, hello everyone. I love listening to you on the Odd Objects podcast, Liz. You're a real celebrity in the strength world. Do you know what's so funny? I did that podcast with Tommy in 2023 at OSG. So it was a year and a half ago. And he messaged me yesterday and he was like, Liz, it's finally ready. I was like, what? I assumed it had gone up already and I'd somehow missed it. But I listened to it too because I couldn't remember what we were talking about. But
you sounded like you knew what you were on about.
I actually did sound that way, didn't I? It's a good job he caught me then and not like this week or something, because it would have been a very different story. But I've posted the link in my Instagram stories. I will post it in the comments on this video as well for anyone who wants to watch it. We're having a conversation about greatness in Strongman. Okay. Greatness.
There is a lot of greatness in Strongman.
There is.
Jane liked the look of your roast, Lizzie.
It was delicious.
I didn't cook by my brother.
I didn't cook it.
Yeah. We went to my brother's house.
I do cook a mean roast though.
You do indeed. But that was very nice today.
It was nice. The time change. Oh, Ben Glasscock with us. Ideal watching while I do some programming.
Good stuff, Ben. Hope you're training hard. I guess next comp for Ben will be England's.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
Or the English qualifier? Will he have to do that? He goes straight to it. Ben's beyond that.
Ben is beyond that now.
Beg your pardon, Ben. Yeah, because he did Brits.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know what was really cool? We learned last weekend that Jan Todd watches this on a Sunday often. So hello, Jan, if you're watching. Bless her. I love Jan.
We do. Yeah.
And I was like, oh no, not the Sunday stuff, because that's like unedited and
unfiltered.
Yeah. She was like, that's the best thing about it. I once had a total of 6 points on my license, back to 0 now.
That's good.
That is good. I've never actually had one. Oh no, I have one years ago.
Yeah.
Oh, damn. But you've had a few, haven't you?
I don't want to talk about it.
No.
I had 9 and I thought I was going to have 12 at one point, and I managed to do a speed awareness course.
Yeah.
But now it's come down. I've been good for a while now.
Yeah, we'll have to check. You must be down to about 3 now.
I hope so.
Yeah, you must be. Oh. There's a 30 near me that goes to a 20, which I thought was harsh. Strongman is so exciting right now, and with the announcement that Annabella Chapman is back, it's just getting better and better. Yeah,
Annabelle's really good.
Yeah.
Did she win the
she won
WUS
yeah.
competition? I thought she did.
In 21.
Really good at the axle as well.
Yeah.
And obviously she had some time off for the baby, but that's another good addition.
Yeah, a great addition. Big Jerk. Big Jerk was the event of the competition for me, along with the women's deadlift.
I got to say, I've said it to a few people. I'm just talking to people in private and stuff like that. I thought it was a brilliant event.
Yeah. Oh, it was amazing. Yeah, it was so exciting. Like, oh, I do. You know, when you wish you could just go back to something. I watched it again on the stream so I could hear you and Jerry on commentary, and that's fun.
Yeah. It's fun doing the commentary with Jerry. To be fair,
yeah,
it's good. We both getting more and more excited every round.
Yeah. 6 kilometers over the limit is complete nonsense to be given a ticket. I quite agree with you. I do feel victimized here.
Especially when you thought you were going under.
I thought I was under.
It'd be different if you were like 46. But...
I know. Yeah, never mind. If Loz was in charge of selecting World's Strongest Man alternates, which 2 names would he select?
I think I'm a terrible person to answer this question because I coach a lot of athletes.
I don't think I could answer.
Yeah, I don't think it would be fair because people I train would come to my mind first. Because to be quite honest, there's a lot of good guys out there, you know, and I think it's important that there's some kind of qualifying system.
Yeah.
Rather than just chucking in people that I want to see or you want to see. Of course.
So you think there should be a qualifying system for alternates?
Well, just to get to World's Strongest Man.
Of course. And they've, to be fair, with 2 exceptions, Lucas and Mateusz, they've stuck to a qualifying system.
This has been the best year. And I think because it's 25 athletes this year rather than the 30 they've had in the past, it's probably a bit easier to get that 25 and then look at, you know.
Do you know, I'll give you 2 names.
Okay.
Tim Buck, third
at
OSG.
Buck, because he was third at OSG.
Yeah. And Wesley Dewinski.
Okay, Wesley Dewinski is definitely someone that does because he was 6th in the final, 5th in the 6th in the final.
Yeah,
I totally agree with that. Tim Buck, and I think Tim is awesome, but OSG has never been a qualifying system for World's Strongest Man. No. OSG is announced as a qualifier. The top 3 will qualify
for Giants Live.
Yeah. So I'm less kind of. I think it is the route that people should go. I always, my own athletes, people that ask me, I'll always tell them focus on OSG. Actually, one of my athletes just messaged just now to go and do OSG Europes because you're putting yourself in front of the right people. And Worlds particularly it's hard for some people because it's an expensive trip, but I think, you know, that's the comp that's going to get you noticed if you're on that amateur stage, unless you can kind of, like even the amateur Arnold's, it's only first place that gets taken to anything. Same with the Shaw Classic, it's only first place that gets taken to anything. So with 3 spots open up with that, it's a little bit more possible, I guess. But it's still very difficult. But if you do get into the top 10, you're being noticed.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So, yeah.
I think the problem is, though, since 2021, the whole podium's gone to World's Strongest Man, which has created and you're right, it's not an official qualifier, but it has created an expectation.
Well, this is the thing, is people kind of get these rumors that such and such is a qualifier. Like there's rumours that the SCLs are qualified, but it's not.
No, I know.
With
OSG though, it's not even the fact that it became a rumor. People literally saw those guys all get invited to World's Strongest Man.
They did.
I mean, 13th place in the Masters competition once
Which
got an
is
invite
ridiculous.
to World's Strongest Man.
Me and Colin nearly fell out about it.
Oh, you did fall out about it.
He said I was very, very harsh. I said I wasn't harsh enough.
Oh, I was Switzerland being the diplomat.
There's so many great athletes out there that that could all get there if they put the work in. And often it's hard because events of the qualifier can determine things. There's different athletes that suit different types of competitions. But I think if you have a qualifying system, then no one can argue with it. Whereas if you allow that freedom to invite who you want, there's always going to be question marks.
Yeah. Ben Gill, thank you for the super chat. Larry Wheels versus Loz arm wrestling needs to happen.
Larry Wheels would kick my ass right now. Maybe if I can keep improving, that would be fun. But Larry's he's a strong dude.
Yeah.
I appreciate the support. I'm not that good at arm wrestling. I love it, and I will try and keep getting better. And I am making good progress. I'm improving all the time. But I got my ass kicked in my last match, and I learned from it. I kind of I just really enjoy it and want to keep getting better. I'm a bit held back by having 2 torn biceps. It's not ideal for arm wrestling, but I just enjoy it. So I will stick with it and keep getting better.
Space Hobo saying no rest days for World's Strongest Man 2025. Will this format favour Hooper?
Probably. He's pretty fit. He tends to recover pretty quickly. There's other athletes as well there that are pretty fit and recover quickly. It won't suit the guys that like the rest days.
Yeah, we were talking about this earlier.
I don't know. I didn't like rest days.
No.
I wouldn't say I was one of the fittest guys, but I didn't like rest days because it's just a day of doing nothing.
You were good at a fast-paced show.
I was better at a fast-paced show, yeah.
We were talking about this earlier about how the groups, the heats used to be over 4 days. So you might have like 1 event, then 2 events, then no events, then 3 events.
There was 1 year where the heats were over 4 days and I had a day of doing no events because things got changed about.
If your last event had bad result there, that's a long time to have to sit on it, isn't it? And not be able to do something about it.
Well, you've been with me at Worlds where an event's gone badly.
Yeah.
And when you've got a whole day to wait to the next event, it's much nicer if you're at a comp where it's just get on with the next event.
Yeah.
Suddenly you have a good event, you're back in the competition.
Yeah. We booked our flights to go to Worlds this week, actually, didn't we?
We have.
Yeah. It's going to be our first time there since 2019.
Since I tore my Achilles.
Yeah. I don't have good memories from World's Strongest Man, so I'm not actually.
What was the best result I did with you there?
2014.
I came 9th.
That was the only year you did get injured when I was there.
So you were the curse.
Maybe.
Before Liz, I was better at Worlds.
No, you won your best. You had your best results in like 1-day shows with me there.
I did, yes.
Oh dear. Let's move on quickly.
Swiftly moving on.
Yes. Mitch looks motivated to get that World's Strongest Man title.
Mitch is motivated. We had a chat yesterday and he is motivated to have like a perfect 12 months. If he wins Worlds, he'll hold every major comp at the same time.
Yeah.
And some of the slightly smaller comps as well.
Well, he'll hold
everything
apart from the regional Giants Live competitions that he can't do.
Britain's and Europe's the only two he obviously can't do.
And he won't have the North America Strongest Man title, which he's never done.
Yeah.
But yeah, he'll hold every international Giants Live title, Worlds, Arnold, Strongest Man on Earth, and Rogue Invitational.
Yeah, he really wants to make it happen as well. I'm off to stay with Mitch for 3 weeks to train for Worlds. Looking forward to that.
Oh, great. Great. I'm not. I'll be here.
He's coming in ready. That's for sure.
Carrying things on my own. Do you think Trey doesn't get enough recognition for his 2-time Shore wins because the name wasn't as prestigious? I don't think it's so much the name. I think the competition has just grown so much.
I agree. I think when he won, it wasn't as big a comp, whereas it's just grown quite a lot over the last couple of years.
Yeah.
And I think Trey is quite a mild-mannered person that doesn't sort of put himself out there as much. So like Mitch has his YouTube. Mitch is kind of, very active on social media. Trey really isn't.
No.
He's quite quiet. Eddie Hall, he was really active at building his brand. Thor has done a good job of that. Brian Shaw. Some guys just aren't so good at that. So they win these big comps, but then they just go quiet again and don't make anything of it. So it's not that he's probably not able to get the recognition. It's just I don't
maybe a
think
lack
he
of
wants
self-promotion.
Or, yeah.
Maybe. How likely do you think it is that World's Strongest Man have selected events to entice Thor? There's more than just so one major factor that comes into it is sponsors.
Yes, that's a major factor.
Yeah, and I think people don't realize how much of an impact that has on the events that are chosen. So sponsors have a big say in events, also the manufacturers, which is a combination of like Rogue and some other people as well. So yeah, that is a big factor, but maybe, I'm not saying that wouldn't be the case, but I think other things would have more preference, I guess. Yeah. Michelle with a members comment. I came 5th at the INSF. Do you know what that is? Irish Natural Strongman Federation. Am I guessing right?
International, maybe.
I have Ireland's OSG next Sunday. Oh, awesome. Well,
good
congratulations on 5th.
Yes, well done.
Yes, and good luck. God, next Sunday, you're busy. Does Loz know what Thor's stipulation is for him to compete at World's Strongest Man? Does it involve a certain someone not being involved in the show?
No.
We don't know what his stipulation is, but we know that World's Strongest Man aren't going to fire anyone to get an athlete, because that would set a really bad precedence going forward for how they operate business, I guess. But we don't know. Michael with a members comment. Do you program rack pulls to increase deadlift?
Yes, I do. I don't program them all the time, but certainly for certain athletes that need work in terms of their lockout strength, then definitely put them in. How you do them is important. It's not just doing rack pulls, but understanding how you should be doing them, because some people will cheat a rack pull and push their knees through and kind of hitch it up. You need to make sure you're still, if your goal is to get better at deadlifting from the floor with it, is to load the hamstrings and glutes, even though you're pulling from a higher height. Liz's next block will have rack pulls in. A lot of my clients have rack pulls in their training, but it's not something that I necessarily do all the time. It's when and if it's needed.
I don't like rack pulls. Were you able to enjoy some biscuits and gravy last weekend?
Yes, we were.
Yes, our hotel had biscuits and gravy every morning. Yes, very nice.
Yeah,
very nice. What a treat.
Novikov doing 18-inch deadlift record next week? ?
Is he?
I haven't seen much of Novikov. Maybe someone else can enlighten us. I don't know if he's going for a record somewhere. Be cool if he is. I'm just hoping that Novikov comes to Europe's in shape and gets to Worlds in shape.
Yeah.
Because it's not been a great couple of years for Novikov, and I miss seeing him at his best.
I miss peak Novikov, definitely. Hopefully we can get him back. Big CT. Hey guys, what was the first World's Strongest Man you can remember watching personally? For me, it was 2002, which Pudzianowski won, and I've been hooked since.
I have been watching World's Strongest Man for years. I think the first one I can actually remember watching was 89.
God, you're old.
So I am old. I was obviously watching it as a kid.
Yeah.
Clearly remember watching the 90s and 2000 and the thousands shows, particularly the 90s, where Magnus Ver was kind of dominating, Gerrit Badenhorst, Riku Kiri, those kind of guys. That was when I was really getting into it. But I've got a vivid memory of O.D. Wilson pulling trucks.
Okay.
And I just remember this huge, big guy pulling these trucks. I just thought it was so cool.
Yeah.
And I was like, I want to do that when I'm older. As a kid, I just remember thinking, that looks so cool. I want to be a strongman. And I wanted to be a strongman from a very young age. I was always very sporty. And I didn't actually start training for strongman until 2005. I was 21. But yeah, I can remember always wanted to be strong. I was like, I used to do rugby, I used to do kung fu, and I always wanted to be like the strongest at things. But that memory is my earliest in terms of visually, just really clearly remembering this big beast.
I remember my dad watching it, and someone, I think it was Magnus Samuelsson, perhaps, doing a car deadlift with a nosebleed. I remember thinking, what on earth? But I don't remember Magnus Samuelsson getting nosebleeds now in hindsight, but it was a blonde guy. Blonder. I don't know.
Blonde. Yeah, he's not so blonde.
No.
Could have been many.
Could have been anyone, because it could have been the heat stages, couldn't it? So anyway, did you watch the Rauno and Matej Q&A? Best and least energetic video ever. Yeah, we watched it. Oh, honestly, I was like, Rano's graphics in the background were just a sight
You
to
were on
behold. Yeah, there's a Team Liz t-shirt in there. I was like trying to take a picture of it on my phone. They're so funny.
Looking forward to seeing them at Europe.
Yeah, really looking forward to it. What's really interesting is that English is the only language that both of them speak fluently, so they have to communicate in English. Same with Ivers and Rauno.
Yeah.
So yeah, which is lucky for us.
Yeah, it's great for us.
Yeah. Where are we? Cousin Fred, thank you very much for the super chat. Liz, the question is, did you swear more at the cop or the freezer? Well, it was just a letter through the door, Fred. I wasn't actually stopped or anything like that. But when we got back from Ohio, a letter came through, and it was like the Monday before we left. I was like, oh, for God's sake. So I swore more at the freezer. Yeah, I wouldn't swear at the police. No, I'm not like that, am I? I'm just all mouth now. I just swear about it to Loz. But thank you for the super chat. When will the public know the World's Strongest Man events? That's a very
Hopefully
good question,
soon.
Travis.
We don't know the answer to that. It's just being honest
Last year they announced it so late, like crazy late. They were driving me insane late. Yeah.
Don't bang that.
I was just remembering how mad I was.
I remember how mad you got at me when I banged that. Yeah, unfortunately, we don't know. I do hope they announce it soon, because I think it's something we all love to talk about as fans. I think it gives us a better understanding of predictions. It means we can kind of enjoy the build-up of the athletes' training. So if World's Strongest Man are watching, let's let the fans know ASAP.
Yeah, if they're locked in, just let them know.
Hell,
what harm is it doing?
I mean, I could just say the events, but I don't want to do that.
No.
I respect the promoters and stuff. But yeah, guys, come on. Let's let us know.
Yes. Let us talk and hype the competition. Unknown YouTuber, thank you for the super chat. Big four comps outside Britain and US. Am I being thick? I don't understand the question.
I'm guessing he's talking about the big comps that don't happen in Britain and the US.
Yeah, like geographically.
Right now, I'd probably say North American Championships in Canada.
Yeah, North America's Strongest Man. Yeah,
would come to mind. There's not really many others that I can think of. All the major comps right now are
in the
UK or American. World's always being in America at the moment. That adds that there.
Yeah.
Rogue is in UK this year, and last year it was in America before that.
Yeah.
Shaw Classics in America. Arnold's is in America. The Giants Live are pretty much all in the UK. So you're then looking at
Strongman
Champions League, which are all over the place, and that varies every year. Obviously, we've had like WUS comps in Dubai and Bahrain, but they're not happening. So in terms of consistent comps that happen annually, it's either America or the UK.
Yeah. Turtle Hubby, thank you for the super chat. What do athletes do in between sets at an event? Do they keep warming up, relax, observe? What did you do when you competed?
So this is a great question, and it leads to something that I was talking to you about. I was thinking of doing a video just explaining the whole World's Strongest Man experience from an athlete's point of view. So for someone that's been there before. So if you guys would like something like that, let us know, and we'll kind of put a video together. But to answer your question, you're not really going to do sets between, between like say they're doing a deadlift for max, they're not going to do reps between attempts. They will warm up for the next event because there is long gaps.
It really depends on the competition, though. So if we take Giants Live for an example, what you tend to see is they warm up for the first event. They try and do a little warm up for the second event.
But normally the pace is
event
just,
3, they've got no time to warm up. Then they're just coming
also,
out.
they are warm.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
At the Arnolds, they were warming up after each event, ready for the next event.
Much more time between events.
Having the women there,
yes,
and then like alternating.
And World's Strongest Man, where it's so stop-start, they will warm up between events because you're talking hours between events. So, and that's one of the hard things with Worlds is being able to get yourself up for that event and then calm yourself down and just switch off and then get yourself up for the next event and then do that again. It's very difficult because it's spaced over such a long time. And a lot of people, myself included, didn't like that.
Yeah.
I was much better at the faster pace show where you get warmed up for that first event and then you just go.
If Canada joins the EU, can Mitch compete at Europe's Strongest Man? No, because it's not EU Strongest Man. It's the geographical continent of Europe. That means you can.
But if we adopt him as British, then he could.
Adopted. I don't think Mitch needs us to adopt him.
I think he's
He
happy
could adopt us.
Europe's leave Europe's alone.
Yeah.
Is it a good question?
What?
From Carl Loz, how much how hard would you train the week before a comp? I would be deloading the week before a comp. I'd probably do 2 sessions myself, maybe picking a couple of compounds that are comp related, going at about 60% of my 1 rep max, focusing on low reps. So multiple sets of 2 to 3 reps, focusing on technique and speed. I would do some light blood flow work. I'd make sure I keep walking, do a little bit of mobility work, but nothing that's going to tax me in terms of taking any energy out of me. At that point, you are focused on recovering, because when we're training hard, we break muscles down. A central nervous system can take a bit of a hit, and you want to be as fresh and recovered as possible when it comes to the competition.
If she focused specifically for Deadlift World Championships, what do you think Andrea would be able to pull?
I think she could pull 700 pounds with real focus on that.
What's that in kilos?
It's 117.5 kilos.
317.
Sorry, yeah.
Kilos. Yeah.
I think she's capable of that. She's progressing well. She looked phenomenal at the Arnold's. Was really proud of her. And I still think there's a little bit more there with a little bit of push. Maybe 320 kilos. Mm. I always said Andrea could push Lucy if Lucy was a bit off. And that was the case. Lucy was not at her best. And Andrea almost did it. But to be fair to Lucy, she did what champions do, and she kind of knuckled down and made it happen. But I'm still super proud of what Andrea did.
Where was Evan the only one with no video out? He wasn't. I ran out of time, and I didn't have time to chase people. And I also didn't do one with Olga, Jennifer, or Lucy. But no beef with Evan.
There's no beef. Liz did contact him. He's not great at looking at his messages, is he?
No, he's horrible at looking at his messages. I kind of expected that, and I didn't chase him because I already knew I wasn't going to get them all done. So I just left it, and I was like, "Oh, I can say I contacted them at least, and then it's not my fault."
But you didn't quite get everyone.
No, I didn't. No, the weeks just suddenly rolled around very quickly, Lozzie. They snuck up on me.
They did.
Dalton. Auntie Liz appreciation post. You're killing it. Thank you, Dalton. You're very sweet.
You are killing
killing someone with my speeding. Oh, how sad. The fat man who rolls around in cow poop. Thank you very much for the super chat. Loz.
Thank you, fat man.
What was your favorite World's Strongest Man competition and why?
Good question. As a competitor or as a fan?
Answer both. And I have a way. I mean, pop to the ladies.
So many to choose from.
Oh, God, my legs.
So as a competitor, I think I did enjoy 2011, although I kind of messed up at the end. Performance-wise, that was a really good one for me. I actually really enjoyed 2014. That was an interesting comp. It was nice to have Liz with me at that one. That's one of the first ones she got to come to. World's Strongest Man was never my favorite comp, though. I didn't enjoy it as much as some of the one-day shows or even some of the two-day shows that I did. It just didn't work out as well for me as an athlete. That's on me, nothing else, nothing against the show. I just preferred the faster-paced shows. As a fan, I used to really enjoy some of the comps in the 90s with like Sven Carlsen and Magnus Samuelsson. They were kind of like vivid early memories for me of, really trying to get into training and just watching those guys and being motivated by them. And before that, I used to love watching Magnus Fleur Magnusson, Gerrit Badenhorst, Riku Kiri, those kind of guys. Was always fun. I've not enjoyed it the same. I enjoy it, but not the same as I did before as a competitor. I think before as a competitor, it was like magical. And, I was looking at these guys like they were heroes. Whereas now that I just see people as my peers and I respect the ability, but I guess I look at it from a different perspective. But yeah, I mean, some of the athletes now are always amazing to watch. Will we see Mitch and Loz vids? Absolutely. Yeah, there will be vids for sure. Interesting one. I'll ask Liz this. If Loz and Liz could acquire an exotic pet, e.g. a sloth, what would they choose? Have you heard this question?
What?
If Loz and Liz could acquire an exotic pet, like a sloth or something, what would you choose?
Would a goat be considered exotic? Because I would love to have a goat.
A pygmy goat.
Yes,
Yeah.
I would like to have a few goats.
I'd like a tiger.
What? No, it would eat my goats.
Tiger.
Can't have a tiger. No. Look at the goats. Oh dear. If Mitch gets all 4 big titles in a year, does that put him in the top 3 GOAT status?
Ooh.
I mean, who's in the top 3? I would say it has to be Zydrunas, Brian, and Marius.
I think that's fair.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm thinking
it certainly
maybe
solidifies his top 5. I mean, he could be top 5 now, but it would
maybe
certainly
4th or
solidify
5th.
top 5.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I'm not sure I'd be ready to.
The one thing that's
of
clear
them.
with Mitch, no one has done as much as him in a shorter period of time.
No, they haven't. No.
Where he ends up is entirely up to him, really.
Yeah.
Like, he's got potential to do incredible things. He's already done incredible things. I think anyone would be happy with his career.
Yeah.
Anyone. If it was over a long period of time, and he's managed to do it in a couple of years.
Done working. Michelle with the super chat, thank you. Yes, Liz, Irish Natural Strength Federation. That was very close.
You did well.
Congratulations. Will Loz be working in any capacity for IMG or Channel 5 at World's Strongest Man?
Strictly to coach my athletes and to help Liz with content for you guys to watch.
Yeah, there you go. There for the absolute.
And I'm actually really looking
pleasure.
forward to going just as a coach.
Yeah.
It's nice. Like, it was nice at Arnold's that I could coach my women. But obviously I was working long days for Rogue. The year before, when we just went to get our own content and to work, was great. I loved it. And I'm genuinely looking forward to getting away with and training with Mitch, and then being there for Mitch and Evans at Worlds this year will be really cool.
What's the latest news about Wide Pav? So no updates on the Wide Pav situation, but he did pull out of Europe's Strongest Man. We're told with a back injury. So fingers crossed he can get everything sorted and make a really strong comeback, because just feel like we only saw a glimpse of what he was capable of.
I want to see him back, but it's just not happening at the moment, is it?
No. Joshua, thank you for the super chat. Do you feel the Big Show would have been a good strong man?
Well, it's the Big Show. Okay, that's enough of that. Structurally, yes, he's got all the tools to be really good. Just natural power. When you're that size, you're going to be a big, strong man. I think when he was younger, he's quite athletic as well, so he would have had great potential for sure.
Benjamin, thank you for the super chat. With strongman, what typically fades quicker with age? Can't talk. That high-level static strength or the all-round athleticism that strongmen like Hooper?
Athleticism for sure. You can stay strong for a long time. The athleticism is so much higher. Like, just the injuries that you pick up, but your joints just don't work in the same way. It's much harder to be explosive in those kind of movements. Like, if I think back to myself, I can still be, like, if I focused on powerlifting, let's say, I could still probably put some big numbers up. But what I've lost is that explosive ability. You know, I don't get as much like snapping. If you look at Olympic lifters, they normally retire very young. There's not many top level Olympic lifters into their 30s and 40s because it's such an explosive dynamic movement. It tends to be much more a younger man's sport. And that's what you tend to see with the younger athletes in strongman. They're quick, they're athletic, and then as they get bigger and stronger, they slow down a little bit. They're not quite as athletic. And you do notice that. I mean, you look at Thor. Thor is not explosive now. He's strong. Whereas when he was younger, he was a bit more explosive, a bit faster. And you've seen it with all of us. I mean, Brian Shaw went through that. Zydrunas, myself, Terry. You can still be strong, and you almost get better at some things and worse at others.
Monaco with the deets. The 18-inch deadlift record is happening in Barcelona on the 15th of March. He posted about it. It seems that Ultimate Strongman is involved.
There you go.
There you go. Rauno currently holds that record, doesn't he?
I believe he does.
He does, yeah. We were there.
Yeah, because Novikov got it at World's Strongest Man, didn't he?
He did, yes, in 2020,
yeah,
in the final. Smiley saying they've got a show coming up. They've never touched a strongman implement. What would be your advice class-wise? Novice with the lower weights or open class?
Hard to say. Like, I don't know how strong you are. If your base level strength is very, very high, novice might be a bit too easy for you. Like Josh, who trains with me, my training partner, I wouldn't put him in a novice comp, although he's not done any strongman, because he's a very strong guy.
Too strong, yeah.
So without knowing your gym strength level, it's hard to say. And so many of these novice comps and intermediate comps are varied within the novice and intermediate region. But you'll have a good idea of your strength level. There may be certain things, because you've never done strongman events before, that you do struggle with, but it's really hard to say just from what you're telling me here.
This looks fun. Let's try and do this. And let's put a cap on the time. Do you think you could list every winner of World's Strongest Man in reverse order and get them all correct? Yes, I do. Ready?
Between us.
Yeah. So 24, Tom Stoltman, Mitch Hooper, Tom Stoltman.
What year was that then?
So 22 was Tom Stoltman. 21 was also Tom Stoltman. 2020 was Alexei.
19 Martins. 18 was Thor. 17 was Eddie. 16 was Brian. 15
Brian.
Was Brian. 14 was Zydrunas. 13 was Brian.
Wait, 13. Brian. Hold on. If Zydrunas won 2014 was his last one, he won 9 and 10.
Zydrunas definitely won 11.
Did he win 11? No, he didn't.
No. Was that Brian's
Brian
first?
Won 11. So Zydrunas won 9 and 10. Brian won 11. So Zydrunas won 12 and Brian won 13. Zydrunas won 14.
Yeah.
Okay. So go back to 2008 was Marius.
Yeah.
2007.
Did we not miss some then?
No, because I went through them quickly.
No. We went. So where have you gone back to Zydrunas to 2000? Did you not?
2009. Yeah, was Zydrunas.
Yeah.
And 10 was Zydrunas.
Yeah,
11
sorry.
was Brian.
Yeah.
So 2008 was Marius. 7 was Marius. 6 was Pfister.
5 was Marius. 4 was Vasil.
Verastic.
3 was Marius. 2 was Marius. 1
Sven
was
Carlson.
Sven Carlson. 2000 was
Yanni
Yanni
Virtanen.
Virtanen. 99 was Jukka Rahola.
98 was Magnus Samuelsson.
Jukka Rahola was 7.
96 was Magnus Vermagnussen.
95 was Vermagnussen.
94 was Vermagnussen.
93 was
Gary
Taylor. 92
Ted van der Paar.
Ted.
91 was Magnus Vermagnussen. 1990
Jean-Paul. 89 was
Jamie
Reeves.
88 Jean-Paul.
Yeah, 87 didn't happen. 86.
Oh, this is getting stressful.
86 was Jean-Paul, I think.
Was it, or was it Jeff's
I think
last
Jeff was,
one?
I think Jeff was 85 and 83.
Oh yeah,
which would make 84
Jean-Paul, because he won 4.
Yeah.
Okay. And then the 3 before that.
83, as I said, was Jeff.
82, 81, 80 was Bill.
Kazmaier.
79
was
I forgot Don Reinhardt. 78 was Don Reinhardt. 77 was Bruce Wilhelm.
Did Bruce Wilhelm not win twice?
Or did
Don win twice?
Shit, why can't I remember? I don't know. Oh man,
we were close.
Yeah, we were close enough.
Close enough.
Oh dear.
I'll have a look.
Okay. Ben, thank you for the super chat. Hopefully we didn't bore you all to death there. Hall versus Pudzianowski. Eddie going in the deep end. Yeah, very interesting that fight's been confirmed. We weren't sure if they would be doing boxing or it's MMA they're doing, isn't it? Yeah, so that's going to be very interesting. He's going to Poland to fight Marius, which is got to admire his balls. Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting. Like Eddie is undoubtedly like the bigger, stronger man, but Marius.
I was right. Bruce won twice.
Oh, Bruce won twice, 77 and 78. Yeah, Don won it once. 79.
Let me just check the 83 and 85. Yep.
Bruce. Good. So 84 was Jean-Paul. Yeah.
And let's check the Brian and Zydrunas.
The Brian and Zydrunas is what gets me. So 2000.
Brian 11, Zydrunas 12, Brian 13, Zydrunas 14.
We got that right. Yes.
Brian 50. Yeah. High five.
Okay. Not bad. I think we got one
on the
wrong.
spot. We did pretty well then.
Yeah.
I think. It's actually harder reversing it.
It is harder
Yeah.
reversing it. Yeah. In order, it's much easier. Where are we? Craig Taylor. Hi, Loz and Liz. I finally get home tomorrow after being in hospital for a month. Oh, my goodness. Well, I hope it's a lovely return home for you. I can't imagine. Can you? I go crazy. Being in hospital for like a couple of days is maddening, isn't it? It's horrible.
Yeah. I hope you're recovering well.
Big fan of you guys. Do you think the Arnold Pro-Am will ever have top 3 gets invited to International Arnolds, or is it a long shot?
That's a very long shot.
Yeah,
very long shot. You think there's only 10 athletes or 10 men that competed?
Yeah,
you've got to go with like the very best guys.
Yeah, and they're not going to expect all those guys to do a Pro-Am, because who's in the main show if they're all in the Pro-Am?
The top, whoever wins the Pro-Am is going to struggle in the Arnolds. That's fact.
It's just such a huge
and this is me talking about one of the athletes that I coach. You know, we've got a lot of work to do to get Andrew Burton ready for next year's Arnolds. I coached Jack, who could have possibly been second if he played it safe on that last event. He tried to take a risk to take the win. He's got one event that he can do well at the Arnolds, but everything else he's going to struggle with. There was no one in the Pro-Am that would jump in and come anything higher than 9th or 8th, 9th, 10th in the main event.
Yes, we forgot the Magnusson Classic in Iceland outside of the USA and UK.
That's true.
Yes. On the spot, man. We panic. Turtle Hubby, thank you for the super chat. Do you coach anyone? What do you look for if not? I do coach a few people, yes. What do I look for if not? What do you mean? I don't know. Okay. I don't know. Sorry, Turtle. I don't quite understand the question. I coach for a living. That's what I do. And I coach some of the top strongmen and strongwomen on the planet, as well as, you know, intermediate and novice athletes. So I coach all kind of levels. But maybe it was in reference to another question, perhaps. I don't know. Question for you. And with my coaching, I just try and make sure everyone gets better. Doesn't matter what level you are, we focus on improving you. Liz, are you planning on interviewing each athlete for World's Strongest Man like the Arnolds? Those were great. They were great, but honestly, it was so much work. Just with the amount of changes that people have to their schedules and have to rearrange. Because we're going to Worlds, maybe doing some short interviews in person would be good. Yeah, maybe. And a lot more time efficient as well. Yeah, that was hard work. We want to try and do quite a bit for members when we're at Worlds, don't we? So like shorter, unedited stuff that you can just get up quicker. But we are still going to be doing, it's going to be like Strongman Late Radio. So we're still going to be giving you guys live updates as it's happening. Hopefully better than ever before. You will be. I might not be. I will be. Yeah. I will be. You can rely on me. You can rely on you and me when I can. And daily vlogs as well. Absolutely. Yeah. And maybe lives each day, just chatting to people, see what they thought of it. Yeah. After a while now, we have someone who is pushing Mitch Hooper in competition. Is Lucas a potential winner as well for World's Strongest Man 2025? Absolutely. Lucas is awesome. And not just Lucas, like Tom Stoltman is still a threat at World's Strongest Man. If Thor does it, he is a threat at World's Strongest Man. Trey Mitchell, Austin Andrade, all these guys are great athletes. Mitch, in my eyes, is still the favorite, but we have some great strongmen competing right now. Nothing is ever a guarantee. Yeah. Does Sebastian coach any strongmen other than Thor? He has coached other strongmen. Yeah. Is he coaching Andy Black right now? Yes, he is. He is coaching Andy Black. Good shout. Yeah, he's coached other strongmen as well. I can't remember exactly who off the top of my head, but I know a few that have been with him over time. Yeah. Seb is awesome as well. I think he's probably in my opinion, one of the absolute best powerlifting coaches on the planet. He helped me quite a bit, and I learned a lot from him when I did a bit of powerlifting. He's awesome. Hi guys, what do you think about the possibility of World's Strongest Man being live streamed in the next few years? As a fan, it's a joke having to wait 7 months to see it. Totally agree. We quite agree, Connor. So last year, I was told a few months before World's Strongest Man, it looked like it was happening and there was going to be a pay-per-view live stream. But then I was told, no, Channel 5 have backed out. I guess some sort of nervousness over devaluing the final edited product. If people have already seen it, maybe they're not going to go watch it at Christmas time and it's going to tank the ratings. So until they can get over that fear, I guess, and I don't know what it would take, it doesn't seem likely that we're going to get a live stream for Worlds. But we totally agree with you. Like, we don't watch World's Strongest Man because It's in the past.
I really like shows being live. I love the Arnolds. I love Rogue. I love the Shaw Classic or Strongest Man on Earth because we get to watch them as they're happening.
Yeah. And we're so emotionally invested in World's Strongest Man as it's happening. I don't have anything left by the time it's broadcast. I am spent.
I agree.
Thor mentioned returning to Worlds if they made certain agreements. Now the events are good for him. I mean, to be fair, unless you put in a ton of overheads, which is improving all the time, it's hard to pick bad events for Thor.
Yeah.
Because he's very good at a lot of things.
Look, there's no way I think these events have been put in for Thor, but there are changes that have been made, which I think is good compared to things we've seen in the past. I think they've been listening to what fans and people have been saying.
Yeah, definitely.
When are we getting the 200-meter brick carry back?
Oh, God, hopefully never. Never, ever, ever.
What's your max ever axle press? My max axle press was 205 kilos, which was a world record for all of a few minutes.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
I was pretty good at the axle, particularly when I was younger and more explosive and flexible.
Still waiting for Mitch Hooper, a meme experience for Jack PGM.
I'm sure it will come.
Oh, it must happen.
It's too easy.
Too easy. God, I could make one. There's so much content that you could meme him with. God, I remember when ours came out. Was it last year? I was so scared when I saw what it was. I was like, oh no. But he was very kind. Very kind. You're a good person, Loz, a great coach.
Oh, thank you very
nice.
much. Would Andre the Giant have been a good strongman? Potentially, yes. I love these questions. They didn't do strongman, so you can't say they would be good, but they had potential to be good for sure.
Yeah, of course.
And there's lots of people out there like that. You know, there's athletes in different sports that if they put their focus in strongman could be awesome. But would they just turn up and win? The answer is no.
Where can one see the leaked versions? I actually don't know. I don't know where they were leaked. I heard people talking about them being leaked, but no one mentioned
You find
any
most
names.
of your stuff from Reddit, don't you?
I do. Yeah, I read Reddit and see what's occurring. And sometimes people message me as well. People from Reddit. Joshua, thank you for the super chat. Loz, my friend has just told me that you and Oberst had some issues a few years ago. What was that about? And what's your current situation with him?
No real beef. Like I'm just pretty honest.
He had beef with you.
Yeah, I'm pretty
around.
honest about my opinion of the levels of certain athletes. Oberst, without question, is a very solid strongman, but I probably said something along the lines of he's not in the league of Eddie Hall and Thor and Brian Shaw, and I don't think he liked it. And then I got blocked by him on social media. But we've seen each other since, and I wish Oberst the best. Genuinely, I do. I've had good experiences with Oberst in the past. I've seen him do good things.
We always used to have fun hanging out.
Yeah, like I've got no issue. Just when I'm doing commentating or I'm doing like these kind of videos, I'm just going to give an honest opinion. But my honest opinion is always going to be, I respect every single one of these athletes as an elite athlete. But you cannot compare Oberst to Mitch Hooper. You can't compare me to Mitch Hooper. I'm not as good as Mitch Hooper. You've got to look at what results people have and how good they were. And I'm just going to give an honest opinion. That's literally all it was. Some people don't like it when you're honest with them.
There you go. Lots of people very impressed with our efforts. We had just the one miss at the end.
I think we could have done better, but
we could have if we hadn't been rushing. Yeah.
Could we do the Arnolds, do you think?
Arnold's, that's harder, I think. Do you want to try?
Yeah, let's try. Well, we'll try the Arnolds.
Okay.
Mitch Hooper.
Martins.
Wait,
then it didn't happen in 21. Then in 2020 it was Thor.
Yeah.
And then 2016 was fucking Zadrunas won it. Do you remember?
Zadrunas
out of nowhere with a back injury.
15.
Brian.
14.
Lalas.
Was he 14?
Or was...
He might have been. When did Mike Jenkins win?
Well,
Mike Jenkins won the year
12.
I did it, 12.
12.
I think 13 might have been Lalas, but I might be wrong. I'm very disappointed in us right now.
I'm not as good at the Arnolds.
Yeah.
Let's go with 14 Lalas, 13 Brian, 12 Mike Jenkins.
12 is definitely Mike Jenkins.
Yeah.
And then 2011.
Derek Poundstone?
I think Derek was earlier than that.
Oh God, I can't do it.
Brian won twice. And
No,
Derek
Brian won 3 times.
twice.
Twice.
Derek won twice.
There's
There's only been 3 guys that have won 3 or more.
Mitch,
Thor, and Zydrunas.
Oh yeah,
Zydrunas won nearly all of them.
Yeah.
Mark Henry won the first, obviously.
I can't do it.
That was crap.
That was awful.
I'm gonna have to look now.
Must get better.
I'm disappointed in you.
Don't say that. Don't. Let's just revel in our compliments about our efforts with the World's Strongest Man one. Why do you even suggest it, you big dummy? You knew we couldn't do this.
I thought we'd do better.
I thought we'd do better too.
So it is Mitch. Martins, competition didn't happen. 4-4-4. We were right to that.
Yeah.
2017 Brian, 16 Zydrunas, 15 Brian, 14 Zydrunas, 13 Lalas.
13 Lalas. 12 was Mike Jenkins.
Brian Shaw. Then it was Derek Poundstone twice.
Yeah.
Then Zydrunas, and
all the way back to Mark Henry.
So we actually did okay.
Yeah.
I was right about Lalas.
You were, yeah.
You were wrong. We'll just leave it at that.
Shut up, you. What do you think? I can't say his name. Greg Doucette.
What do I think of Greg Doucette? I used to watch his stuff. I used to like his stuff, and then I thought he just started getting a bit annoying, so I stopped watching his stuff.
We've met him in person, though.
In person,
he seems like a really nice guy.
Yeah, I think he probably just does things for content.
Clicks and views and stuff.
Making money out of it.
Yeah.
I know Mitch has met him and done things with him, and he said he's fine. I just don't know him that well, but genuinely, I used to really like his videos. The more recent videos, not so much. I say not so much. I just don't watch them, to be quite honest. So,
yeah. People asking how Rebecca Roberts is doing.
Good. She's I'm really enjoying working with Rebecca. Just getting to know her. She's a sweetheart, isn't she?
Yeah, she is.
She really is. And I think we've got a lot of potential with her to keep growing and getting better. I'm excited to see how far we can take Rebecca in terms of developing her as an athlete.
What are these comments? Is Liz stoned? Do I look stoned?
Tired more than stoned.
I'm tired. And is this about me? What bitchy face that blonde?
Are you getting your bitch face on?
It's just my face.
It's just her face.
It's just how my face is.
Marcella.
Don't like it? Turn it off. And fuck off.
Oh dear.
Honestly.
You get some abuse, don't you?
They can get wrecked. Joshua, thank you for the super chat. When is Loz going to turn heel and how? Chokeslam Liz? Yeah. That's what I said on that. I've already said that on the stream.
When am I going to turn heel and chokeslam Liz? Should we chokeslam you in a reel?
Can do. May as well. Oh, dear.
Yeah. Tired more than stoned right now.
Yeah. I don't get stoned.
Not for a long time.
No. Ben, my favorite strongman of all time, Magnus Samuelsson.
Magnus Samuelsson was always my favorite too. Used to love watching Magnus when I was younger.
Eric, thank you very much for becoming a member.
So basically Zydrunas and some other guys.
Yeah.
Pretty much when it comes to the Arnolds.
The people who watch World's Strongest Man on TV at Christmas wouldn't watch a live stream. Completely agreed, Jane. And I think it's a totally different audience. The ones that actually follow the sport and the ones who have it as part of just an annual tradition of watching it.
Yeah.
Why not have World's Strongest Man in November? That's a question we've asked, isn't it? Why just push the competition back?
Yeah. Well, the thing is, in America, you guys get to watch it much sooner than we do in the UK. I think it's like a month later it goes out on CBS. Whereas in the UK, we're waiting half a year
until
or
December.
8 months. It's a bit crazy if you ask me.
Right, let's wrap up some questions. Is the Strongman Champions League still an event?
Yes, they've got a number of competitions happening this year, and they had their first competition 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, Iceman, wasn't
Iceman,
it?
yeah, they've got about 14 or 16 this year.
God, really?
Very busy year, yeah.
Christian Nelson in the chat with us. Hello.
How you doing, buddy? Well done to you and your sister on the weekend.
What happened?
They did first time she's ever competed, so he wanted to compete as well. It was a log and deadlift competition.
Cool. In Liz and Loz's opinion, which of the 4 major comps is the best and most professionally organised, managed and run?
Ooh.
I would say nothing comes close to the organisational skills of the Rogue Invitational.
I'd probably agree with that.
It's like military operation. Very, like, almost weirdly organised for strongman, because we're not used to it. Yeah.
Rogue are very, very organised.
Like 1,000 volunteers. It's just so organised. Maybe too organised.
almost to the point where backstage takes a bit of the fun away.
I wasn't going to say
but very professional,
in
terms of the way they do things, which is good. It's not a bad thing at all.
No.
I would say them.
Is this year the last year of the contract that World's Strongest Man has to be in America?
I can't remember.
No, I believe there's another year in Myrtle Beach to come still as well. And then they'll probably just make a whole new contract in America. Maybe, who knows?
Samantha has an interesting question. Why did all the men start cleaning the timber carry handles halfway through? I believe an athlete used an awful lot of chalk that one of the athletes slipped on. They left like a lump of chalk under the handle. So one of the athletes told the other athletes, and then they were all trying to make sure it was all cleaned beforehand.
Okay. No stone off rest day, 25 guys. It's getting better, says Andrew.
It sounds like it is.
We will let you know. When will your coaching app be released, Laurence?
Very soon, guys.
What event in strongman do you like the most?
For me, when I was competing, it was the super yoke. That was actually, I prefer the car walk in terms of a visual, but any kind of carrying weights on my back was my favorite.
Right, I'm just going to try and skip ahead because we've been on for over an hour now.
Sure.
Apparently, I'm so tired I look stoned.
We'll tuck Auntie Liz up in bed.
Yeah. Oh dear.
Are you stoned?
No.
I know.
I'm just full of roast dinner.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. We got 2, I think, super chats that you haven't got to.
Okay. Where are we? Turtle Abbey, thank you for the super chat. To clarify, I know you coach current strongmen and women. Haha. Would you take on anyone who asks to be coached? Otherwise, what qualities and values do you look for to consider someone to be coached?
So yes, I take on anyone. One of the things I do want from people is that they are coachable. There are certain people out there that are not, and we've kind of parted ways very quickly. Some people, I'm not the kind of coach that overcomplicates things. I don't believe in overcomplicating things. I think doing the correct things as well as possible time and time again is how you get really good. And I've been very good at getting results out of people. The only thing I care about is effort and just being coachable. Just they're the 2 things that I'm after. I don't like it when people come to me and say they want to be the world's strongest man and then come up with a load of excuses. But if you come to me and you say, I'm 40 years old, I want to just get better, I've got a wife and kids, I've got a full-time job, I know I can't commit to everything that it takes to be the world's strongest man. It doesn't bother me in the slightest. As long as we can focus on you getting better and you enjoying it and making progress, that's all I care about as a coach.
Thank you for all the nice comments to make up for the mean ones. There we go.
You have some people that like you.
What do you mean some people? Oh dear. Anthony, thank you for the super chat. Liz and Loz, so glad you guys do this. Thoughts on top 5 world's strongest man this year? How about Europe's strongest man?
So we're going to have quite a few videos coming out about Europe's in the lead up to that. I think Europe's going to be exciting with 4 former winners being there. Mateusz Kiliaszkowski doing his first Giants Live in 6 years. I think it's going to be a great show. As for world's strongest man, there's so many great. If Thor does it, he's a contender. Tom Stoltman, 3 times world's strongest man, he's going to be a contender. Mitch Hooper is without question a contender.
I hope they get the groups right.
Lucas Hatton has just been fabulous and just keeps getting better. Trey Mitchell, Austin Andrade, Evan Singleton, the list goes on. It's going to be a fun competition.
Yeah, but the reality is,
how good a shape is Novikov in?
There's going to be at least one group that will have 3 or more of those guys in there.
It's going to be exciting.
It's going to be horrible because some of our favorites that we're going to talk about at this point aren't even going to make the damn final. I hate it so much. Like, I don't know what it is.
You get so angry.
I get upset. I'm too emotionally invested. I am. Michael up there was asking, will you both be doing a live stream during World's Strongest Man like previous years? It's one of my favorite things. Yeah,
will be,
definitely.
yes.
Yeah. Me 100%. Loz on and off.
Yes.
He's more fickle, but I will
100% on like the days leading up to it and the days of the competition.
The events. Yeah. Yeah, we did comment about the Rauno and Matej collab.
Yeah.
We've enjoyed it immensely.
No, I didn't see this about this Indian.
Oh God, I saw that. That was terrible.
What happened?
It was, so she unracked a weight. There were no safeties or anything. And I don't know what happened, but it ended up, it was a massive weight with her neck like that.
God.
And then her going under. She died.
Oh, Jesus
but it
Christ.
sort of snapped her neck down like that. Yeah.
I know it's, I've not seen the video, but you've got to be careful with these
Such
kind
a
of
huge weight.
big weights and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I would never let someone squat huge weights on their own.
No.
You've got to make sure you've got safety precautions in there. I also saw Sir Dave breaking his arm.
Oh God, that was horrible. Yeah, terrible.
Like, a lot of people were saying he should be invited to the Deadlift World Championships. So
that's not going to be a possibility now this year, I'm guessing.
Yeah, these big weights, they're dangerous.
Yeah.
I know full well myself.
I get a lot of comments about my squats. Oh, you should do this. You should do this. Your hair could be ripped out. It's like, guys, I just get really annoyed. It's like, if I am unracking it and I'm not 100% confident it's coming back up, I ain't even going down with it. And I should be able to let go of that bar because I do a high bar squat.
You've got very good mobility to
it's not going to fall off.
No.
It's not going to fall off. Where's it going to go? I know people mean well.
They do. They just want to look after you.
That's your job.
I do that pretty well.
Yeah. Are you worried that no rest days at World's Strongest Man will lead to more injuries?
No.
There you go.
The events dictate more injuries, and actually the more rest is worse than just getting it done, in my opinion. The heat is more of an issue. Staying hydrated, that's more of a key to avoiding injuries. That's why there's a lot of injuries at Worlds when it's in a lot of these hot countries. You're asking for big, huge men to compete in stupidly hot climates. That is much more dangerous than the pace of the show.
Yeah. I think the last time that they did it in Sacramento, it was unseasonably warm. Like boiling hot. In fact, it shouldn't be too bad mid-May. It should be like low 20s. And
I think someone's seen the message on your coffee cup.
Being my wife is really the only gift you need. This was quite funny because it was, I can't remember if it was Valentine's or something a few years ago. Loz obviously ordered a few last minute gifts on Amazon, forgetting that he was logged into my Amazon account. So I saw everything that he ordered. So everything that was like a version for me, there was a male version as well. So I ordered the exact same stuff.
Just like the clown that you are.
And I insisted that he opened the stuff from me first. I'm such a dick.
You are a dick.
Oh, it was funny though.
But you're my dick.
Disgusting person. Manuel from Ecuador joining us. Thank you, Manuel.
How do we go from someone dying to that? That's typical us, isn't it?
It's an emotional roller coaster, these live streams. Loz would never coach me because I'm uncoachable, says Fred. Probably pay me to go away.
I probably would. I thought about doing that to Liz, but she started to listen. Believe me.
You were going to pay me to go away? I would have taken the money.
I was going to pay Josh to coach you, but eventually you started listening.
Yeah, you kept trying to push me on Josh. How rude. How rude.
You've actually made some really good progress.
Yeah.
You must be a genius.
You must be a miracle worker. Oh.
I do have a lot of patience, I think.
Yeah, but you haven't needed a ton of patience for me. I've not been particularly tricky.
There was a time when we started like with Liz, coaching Liz, and she would post videos and everyone would give you advice on your lifts.
I know.
And you have to understand, guys, that when someone is new to lifting, it takes time to learn things. You can't just expect people to do things perfectly straight away. And I'm really good at staying patient, but a lot of people aren't.
No.
I thought, you should get this right straight away. Good friends included.
Well, that's why most of my messages remain unopened in the request folder.
But I know what I'm doing. I've been doing this for a long time. So hopefully Liz is making some good, solid progress and enjoying it.
I am making good progress. I'm not enjoying it, but I'm making good progress.
Mateus finally wins Europe's Strongest Man.
That's elevated so low in the bar. Yeah, it was a £500 squat PR attempt, but yeah, she was stood on mats or something. The spotting situation was obviously awful. It was just a disaster all around. Yeah. Do the DOMs get worse over the break day?
No. When you're conditioned to the level that these guys are, actually rest is worse.
Yeah, that's what they're asking. Is it worse when you have a break day?
Not really. It's competing in a comp like Worlds or any top level comp. It's not the same as like bodybuilding DOMs. It's more central nervous system that kind of gets totally wiped out. So, but these guys are conditioned to push themselves to a certain level, or they should be. Like, it's the worst DOMs you'll ever get is when you haven't trained and then you have a hard training session. Like, that's the worst kind of DOMs you get, because if it was like that all the time, you just wouldn't train.
Yeah.
But when you get really conditioned to training, you can kind of recover fairly quickly if you're relatively fit and used to it.
Sacramento in May, over 90, or maybe rain. It could be brutal. Well, I hope for personal reasons it's lovely weather. I wouldn't mind it nice and hot, but most of those athletes are used to it, aren't they?
Yeah.
Well said, Loz. Don't know what you said there.
Probably coaching related.
Loz is the real coach. The rest are just pretending. Says Coach Lake. Loz is a good coach. Fred would be a challenge.
Fred would be a challenge. I don't even think I could coach Fred. Well, Fred knows his strengths and his weaknesses.
DOMs, the aches and pains you get in your muscles, the day or 2 days after is usually worse, isn't it? Do you know what? The good thing is I don't get bad DOMs anymore.
No, it's because you've been training regularly.
There you go. Right, we've done 1 hour and 11 minutes. Shall we hop off?
Need to tuck Auntie Liz up into bed before more people accuse her.
Before I get the munchies and do all my my progress.
You got some big squats tomorrow?
I have, so I'm hoping the roast dinner is going to work in my favour.
Good stuff. Guys, thank you as always for joining us. Hope you have a great week, and we'll catch you guys soon. Take care.
Smile and wave. Keep going. I haven't found the button.